Hey guys, in today's quick tip video, I wanted to talk to you about how you can set up your first appointment in counseling to be successful. While there are many benefits to couples counseling, including building or strengthening the connection that you have, it might be around conflict management and communication skills, or perhaps you want to target intimacy directly. There are a lot of benefits to couples counseling. If you have never been before, or if you have and it hasn't gone well, then my hope today is to give you 10 tips to set up that first appointment with some success. Let's get to work. Before heading into couples counseling, it's important to prepare yourself individually and as a couple. So to start, my first tip for your first session is to think about what goals you have for counseling. To start that, I actually want you to think about it on your own. While you are going to couples counseling and you'll have shared goals, I also want you to think about what you need individually. So you might want to have that conversation with your partner prior to coming to your first session. Maybe you want to brainstorm some ideas on your own and then come together and see what shared goals you have, see what differences you may have there. I think that can be a really lovely way to start your counseling journey together to clarify some of your goals. My second tip I have is some open communication. While you might be coming to counseling to gain some communication skills, I want you to start at home. Start by having some warm, open communication. I think a great way to do that is to combine it with tip number one. Have open, warm communication around your goals, explore them together, and you're really going to set the stage for your couples counseling experience. The third tip I have for you is to be committed to change. While you're focusing on couples counseling, sometimes I think we can ignore some individual pieces in that. So I want you to dedicate you yourself to saying, you know what, I'm part of our challenge, and I can also be part of the solution and part of our movement forward. The more you can acknowledge that you have a role in it, the more you can say, yeah, I'm committed to change here too. The fourth tip I have for you is to also manage expectations. Sometimes people think that counseling can be a quick fix. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes things can happen very quickly. In fact, I think there is quite a jump as far as achieving goals at the start of counseling, that there's this big push right away and you start to see a lot of wins really quickly. At the same time, there are some things for some couples that may take more time. Some that come to mind are rebuilding trust, especially after infidelity. That's a unique journey to each couple, and I can't guarantee how much time that will take. That's also not a quick fix to repair some infidelity or a deeper level of betrayal. The fifth tip I have is to be prepared to listen. Again, while it's couples counseling, we do spend some time focusing on one partner or vice versa. We take turns here and let each of you be in the spotlight at times. Not always, but at times, one person, it might be you are allowed to be in the spotlight. You're allowed to really be understood, and your partner does too. So that takes some preparation to say, I can be in a listening role. If you find that challenging, I want to challenge you to explore some listening activities outside of your current relationship. Perhaps you want to practice active listening skills with your children or perhaps with friends to get into a more comfortable position to be in a listening role for a longer period of time. The sixth tip I have for you is to stay open-minded. While you have these goals today, you never know what life will bring you. You never know how things will be shaped to create this happy, healthy relationship. So while you have an idea of what that might look like, the more you're able to explore that with your partner and create a shared vision for that goal, the more likely you are to achieve it. So stay open-minded to what the ideal outcome might be for you. The seventh tip I have is to be respectful of one another. While it can be challenging when we're bringing up your struggles, when we're bringing up conflict, the more you can keep one another in this high regard and to speak at that level, the more likely you are to continue this warm, open conversations, and that's more likely to get you through the conflict. So in preparing for your first session, continue to be respectful, continue to say that I believe in us and we can do this together. That's similar to the eighth tip I have for you, which is to stay committed. Communicate that commitment to one another and also to the counseling process. While, like I said before, you can see this big jump in some alleviation of some stress or perhaps some movement towards your goals, a lot of the times people get this big jump and they say, hey, we're good, we can slow down, we can let off the gas. The challenge with that, though, is it can be really devastating when you go back to this place of similar to where you were before. So even though you have progress in counseling, continue to stay committed to the process. Be mindful that even when you have success, we still need to be able to check in. And then you're actually likely to be in counseling in a shorter amount of time than you would if you start spreading things out longer and longer and leave those conversations unsaid. Tip number 9 is to take care of yourself. It's going to be challenging. You're going to be having conversations that maybe you haven't had before. I want you to still be mindful of your individual needs, even though you're really focused on the couple's needs. So practice self-care, be mindful of your needs. You might have to add some self-care if things are feeling more stressful. So set the stage before your first session. Think about what helps you feel better in stressful situations. And the very last tip I have for you is to give feedback. You're preparing for counseling, perhaps you've been to counseling before. I want you to give your new counselor some feedback as to what didn't go well before. Perhaps you want to give them feedback on some concerns you have if you haven't been before. And also, when you do that in that first appointment, you're really setting the stage for your mental health journey with this person. This mental health professional is seeing many clients. They're exploring what you need individually. And the more active you are in giving feedback, the more they will learn what you need to be able to achieve your goals. If you're new here, hi, my name is Emily, and I'm a licensed professional counselor here at the Couples Workshop, where I provide no BS couples counseling. I also put out videos like this, focusing on quick tips to help you reconnect in your relationship. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.